Hi, my name's David Coombe and I'm the founder at Orchestrate Coaching and Consulting. Chances are if you're watching this video we're connected on social media, or maybe we met at a training event, networking event, or perhaps we know each other socially. Maybe we haven't met yet. In any case, it's good to be able to speak with you. In the event that you don't know me, for more than 20 years I've worked in corporate sector leadership roles. My last 5 years of life as an employee, I worked in a global leadership role for a Fortune 500 company. One of the things that I'm grateful to have learnt over 20 years is the skills that have allowed me to be conscious and responsible in my actions and my interactions in terms of what I focus on, the language that I use, my physiology, and the outcomes that I'm able to attain. What's most interesting to know is that many of these are the same skills that allow us to be successful in our personal endeavours, relationships, whether they be intimate or with friends and family, your career, and in the many different aspects of your life and achievements. Right now, I wanted to take a few moments to talk with you about how we, you, me, everybody, interprets the events around them. The human mind, yours, mine, is an incredibly powerful instrument that has the ability to help you achieve remarkable things, and similarly has the ability to cause you to sabotage yourself through action or inaction at the time when you need it most. What you've been entrusted with is quite possibly one of the most remarkable creations. You're in control of a machine that efficiently creates behaviour based on its surroundings. What a truly unique animal we are. So why can two people have the same experience and literally have a different interpretation or response? How is it that two people can be given exactly the same opportunity and one turn it into a great success and the other to fail and find every reason not to act? In my early 20s I learned a lesson that's this: there's three sides to every story. There's your side, the way that you see the world, your interpretation of events. There's my side, the way I see the world, my interpretation of events. And then there's the truth. That's what actually happened. This simple rule governs how you experience the world in relation to others and how you show up in it. Think for a moment about a parent. They have a strict approach in their dealing with their child's behaviour. One person witnessing this approach may consider it loving, whereas another may view it as controlling and authoritarian. What about a leader in a workplace? They give their staff an understanding of the outcome, then ask the staff member how they'll achieve the goal. One employee may see this as being given autonomy and a great opportunity to be successful, whereas another may experience this as poor direction and that they're being set up to fail. Your mind is designed to ensure its safety and survival. That said, it's evolved to be capable of so much more. The behaviour it produces, however, depends upon how you interpret your surroundings. So, how is it possible that two people can experience the same event and have such a vastly different interpretation of what happened? Well, as individuals, we have a series of filters that we use every day in every situation to determine how we see the world. This happens unconsciously. For the purposes of this discussion, let's imagine you observing a person as they experience an event that occurs external to themselves. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean any event that could be experienced by one of their five senses. At any given point in time, we're presented with an incredible amount of information within our surroundings. Now, I've heard mixed responses about this. Some opinions suggest that there's 2 million bits of information flying around, and others again suggest that there's billions of bits being presented to us at any one time. Any way you look at it, there's a flood of information flying around at any point. The common theory is that whilst the human mind receives the majority of the information around us, it's only capable of processing a fraction of that information. So the mind needs to be quite restrictive. So how does it choose? So our subject is in a particular scenario. They experience some form of stimulus, something they see, hear, feel, smell, taste. Very quickly and unconsciously the mind will filter the information presented to them, deleting, distorting and generalizing based on their own personal experience. Before you ask, the experiences, our values, our beliefs, our attitudes, our memories, our decisions and language. This is part of what makes us who we are. Well, what's the result? So after all that information is received and filtered, we create an internal representation of the experience shaped by the filters I just mentioned. That representation will put us into a specific state. Now that state can be physical or emotional. You could choose to be happy, sad, angry, motivated, and this state will change your physiology to suit. Ultimately, change your responding behaviour. Let's look at this as an example. You're at work and you get a phone call from your boss. You pick up the phone. I need to see you in my office now. What did you make that mean? If your filters indicate that phone call is ominous, you'll very likely have had a physiological response of fear or stress, and what happens next is you operating under stress. If you have a different set of filters, that phone call could have been an opportunity. What about an example of a parent? They're in a public place and their child is repeatedly asking for a treat. If that parent's previous experience is that their child's about to have a tantrum, they'll probably lose their patience and maybe even their temper. When you think about how you react to things that happen around you, whether it be work, family, traffic, think about how you'd prefer to respond. So the reason two people will see the same event differently is that they are fundamentally looking at the world through a different set of lenses or filters. I learned some tools and techniques over a number of years that helped me be successful at work in my personal life. I was so pleasantly surprised when I understood that a lot of those skills and tools are part of what's called NLP. So what's NLP? Well, think of it as a relationship between your thought patterns and how they shape your experience. So it's how you use language of the mind to consistently achieve specific and desired outcomes. When you change your thought patterns and beliefs, you can dramatically improve the results you get. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? So what I just described is the NLP model of communication. It's a foundation for creating change within your life. I want you to imagine for a moment a time when you experienced something and you immediately responded a certain way, a way that in hindsight you'd preferred to have handled it differently. Now here's a challenge for you. I want you to begin to notice what representation you make inside your head when you experience a particular event. And I'd like you to begin to think about what it is that I have to do to change that representation. I'd like you to begin by noticing the kind of words that you use. And I'd like you to notice the kinds of words people around you use. When you become conscious about how you respond to the events in the world around you, you actually get to show up differently. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to consider what I've shared today. And I hope the last few minutes has been valuable to help you show up in the world the way you really want. Are you ready to change the way that you're thinking and get more out of your career, your life, relationships and wealth? Are you ready to change the way you show up in the world and respond consciously in your daily life? Are you ready to live by your values? If you answered yes to any of those questions, I want you to comment yes below, as I have an opportunity that's going to interest you. If this has been insightful, please like and share, as I really want to help people, bust out of the constraints of their life and how they show up. Until next time, bye for now.